Tonight is a very exciting board meeting for the Board of Education and all our administrators. We finally have an audience. I was glad to see everyone here tonight. We're recognizing a lot of individuals tonight, so it's really a happy occasion for the board. I've been on the board a good number of years, and when June comes around, it becomes exciting because we have a lot of awards ceremonies recognizing students for their achievements. We have the moving up ceremonies for our elementary school, our graduation ceremonies for the middle school, and finally our high school graduation. And it's really a good time of the year, and we really enjoy it. So to move tonight's agenda along, we're going to do our recognition in the early set of the meeting, and then we'll go into public comment and then our general meeting. So right now under personnel, we have retirements. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, on the recommendation of the superintendent, accepts the resignation to the purpose of retirement from the following employees as presented to the board at this meeting. Virginia Ricardone, teacher, special education, June 30th, 2018, retirement. Lauren Ferrari, library attendant, office clerk, June 30th, 2018, retirement. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Tom, second by Ed. Discussion?
I would certainly like to thank Virginia and Lauren. Virginia for 22 years of service, and Lauren for her 30 years of service to the students of this district.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So carried. Tonight we also have tenure recommendations. And this is an important process for the school board. My entire career here as a school board member, I felt that giving tenure to individuals is a big step for the district. We're more or less counting on those individuals to spend their entire career here at Highland. So it's a big investment on our part. We congratulate them for achieving tenure, and we wish them luck in their endeavors here in Highland. So, be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following employees to tenure status as presented to the board at this meeting. Dr. Michael Path, effective date 9/1/2018, school psychologist. Vanessa Sheldon, September 1st, 2018, school counseling and guidance. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Ed, second by Mike. Discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd just like to add to your comments. This is an incredible night for any employee when they're reaching their tenure. For any people who've been in that position, it's very nerve-wracking. And by me delaying the vote even, it's making them more nervous. I can see Vanessa and Dr. Path getting more and more nervous. But just so everyone understands, certainly tenure is not something the board or the administration takes lightly. It is never something that is the decision is never made in a vacuum. We work with these people. We get input from all players on any tenure candidate. So I worked very closely with both Dr. Path and Ms. Sheldon, and certainly these are top-notch employees. We want people who are stars, A employees. So we don't give tenure to people who aren't an A employee. And they are A number one, and I can congratulate them.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Tonight we're also going to recognize some individuals, staff members that have received tenure prior to tonight's meeting. Michelle McGrath, received her tenure October 24th, 2017. Our high school principal, Bill Zimmer, received his tenure November 10th, 2017. And Tara Simpson received her tenure April 27th, 2018. As you know, we're moving along and we're not really applauding and congratulating these individuals, but at the end, we'll have that opportunity to thank everyone. We'll have a little reception, and we can go around and congratulate. But we'll have a huge round of applause after we show all our recognitions this evening. Next, we're recognizing our student representative, Dean Riley. Dean's first year here as our student rep, and I've been on the board for 17 years now. I got to say, Dean, in all my years and all my experiences with student representatives, you rank up towards the top. You engage the school board in conversation. You clearly demonstrate to us your enthusiasm, even from giving us feedback from the elementary school right on through to the high school, and we appreciate that. Your enthusiasm in delivering those messages to us is the best. So I have to say, on behalf of the Board of Education, we truly enjoyed your presence here throughout this school year, and we're going to miss you as our student rep. Thank you.
Yes. Mr. President, if I can add to that. So Dean, one of my many Bon Joviisms that I tell my administrative staff is, when you're looking for any employee, you hire for attitude and passion. You can train for the skills. You have the passion. You have the attitude. So I know that you're going to be very successful in whatever area you decide to go into. Thank you for all your service to the board and to the school. And I do have a small token of the board's appreciation. It says the Highland Central School District is proud to present a certificate to Dean Riley in recognition for your service as the student representative on the Board of Education for the 2017-2018 school year. I'll bring that over to you at the reception.
If any board member wants to acknowledge any of our individuals, go right ahead.
I just wanted to add, we've had some excellent students here on the Board of Education as student reps, and you know, we normally end the year saying, geez, you know, that person really set the bar high, and we were very proud, not necessarily surprised, but we were very proud that Dean, again, raised that bar. And I know a lot of times here we talk about some very difficult issues. We are very critical of our schools. We expect a lot of great things out of our schools. But my hat's off to Highland High School. They continue to deliver some very, very fine candidates, both at graduation and certainly representing the student body at this table.
Thank you, Mike. Our next recognition is two individuals that are at the top of their class. I'm sure their hard work and the other individuals, the top 10 individuals, worked extremely hard to get where they are right now. Fortunate enough that our valedictorian and salutatorian had reached that plateau, and the top valedictorian, Ariana Rinaldi, and our salutatorian, Dean Riley. It's a great honor to recognize the two of you. I know your 12, 13 years here in the Highland School District has been probably the best years of your life so far. I know into your future, as you move on into higher education, you're going to enjoy those years, but always remember to look back at your years spent here at Highland and everything that you did to achieve that ranking. I can't say enough about it. I know a lot of it was time management. I always stress time management because most of you are involved in extracurricular activities. Besides your own daily activities and schoolwork, you're able to join clubs and participate and spend a lot of time making Highland Central School District one of the best districts in the area. And I hope and give you and good luck in your future endeavors.
So again, on behalf of the Board of Education, we have some certificates that will give to Ariana and Dean, and this is a small token of our appreciation. The certificates say, Ariana Rinaldi, in recognition of your outstanding academic achievement and for receiving the honor of valedictorian for the class of 2018. And Dean's, of course, says, an honor for salutatorian class of 2018.
Our next recognition, top 10 students of the 2017-18 school year. Right. In the past, we've recognized our top 10. We brought them in for a reception prior to graduation. But I think from here on, I believe this is the proper setting to recognize those top 10 individuals. I know they get some perks at graduation where they can sit up front with their families, but we are live streamed here or delayed taping, so you always have that to go back on. And I think in front of an audience of retirees, some of the teachers that you might have had along the way, your principals, your assistant principals, the Board of Education as a whole has the opportunity to recognize you and all your accomplishments throughout your years here in Highland. Well appreciated, and we congratulate you and wish you luck in your future endeavors. So Mr. Zimmer is going to come up and recognize our top 10
So
students.
Mr. Judge, why don't you join him, and I'll come up and join him too.
One.
When you come up, you have to stay up here.
You gotta turn it on, Bill. It's not.
Good evening, everyone. It's our honor to be here to acknowledge the top 10 students of the graduating class 2018. Number 10 will be attending the University of Buffalo. It's Dylan Saffer. He's not with us this evening. Number 9, attending SUNY New Paltz, Sean Jackson. Number 8, attending Siena College in the fall is Kerry Lockhart. Number 7 will be attending Colby College, and it's Michelle Lane. Number 6 plans on attending SUNY Albany in the fall, and it is Kimberly Segura. Number 5, attending Cornell University, Alicia Wilk. Number 4, plans on attending SUNY Maritime, Kev Marlowe. Number 3 will attend Penn State, Emily Peterson. Number 2 will attend American University, Dean Riley. And number 1, our valedictorian, attending Northeastern University, Ariana Bernali.
You could walk up if you want. Parents, if you want to get closer, go ahead.
This is our best and brightest. One more round of applause. Congratulations.
At this time, we'll recognize our retirees for the 2017-18 school year. Sometimes this becomes the difficult part of our recognition. These individuals have given a lot of their time to the Highland Central School District, some over 30 years. And that's a long time working for an entity. And devoting your time to the students of our district, and we appreciate that. So we're going to recognize the following individuals that have given their time to the district, and the date of when they retired, and the years of service, and then we'll do a recognition. Deborah Hab, our former superintendent, retired September 8, 2017, and had given the district 8.5 years. We wish her well in her retirement. Deb Monahan. Deb retired January 30th, 2018. Deb has given 28 years to the Highland Central School District. Even though Deb is retiring, I know she still has some endeavors that she wants to accomplish. And I know that she'll be knocking on my door, the rest of the board members here, including the superintendent, to accomplish some of the things that she has set out to do, and not for herself, but for the children of the Highland Central School District. Thank you, Deb. The next individual has given 30 years to the Highland Central School District. Arlene Reyna, retired March 30th, 2018. I know Arlene Personally, she spent a good number of years. I'm not sure if it was her entire career at the Highland Middle School, but 30 years of service to the children and staff of this school district is well deserving of a good round of applause. So I appreciate the time that Arlene has given to the district, and I wish her a lot of success in her retirement. Good luck. Mary Chris Nelson, going to retire June 30th, 2018. She's given 18 years to the school district. I believe Mary Chris Nelson has spent the majority of those years at the Highland Elementary School. And I know her time spent there was definitely for the children of the community again, and for complimenting the rest of the staff there. So we congratulate Mary Chris Nelson for her years of service, and we wish her luck, best of luck in retirement. Margot Bloom, retiring June 30th, 2018, given 18 years to the Highland Central School District. Again, these individuals that are retiring, for whatever reason that they are retiring, but the time spent here in our district is very much appreciated. Margot Bloom, we appreciate all her time spent here and her devotion to the children of the school district. Thank you, Margot. Peg Trenkus, another individual that will be missed. Peg is going to retire June 30th, 2018. Peg has given 17 years to the Highland Central School District. Peg is going to be, like I said, missed enormously. She's dedicated her life to helping students. And I know those that she's touched along the way have benefited from her kindness and gentleness in helping those students. So we are going to miss Peg and thank her for the 17 years of service to the Highland Central School District. Virginia Ricardone, again retiring June 30th, 2018. Virginia has given 22 years to the Highland Central School District. And again, just like the rest of our retirees, I know every one of those 22 years that she's devoted to this district has been for the children of the Highland Central School District. We wish Virginia luck in her retirement and thank her for her services to the Highland Central School District. Lauren Ferrari, given 30 years of service to the Highland Central School District. Lauren will retire June 30th, 2018. She's been the backbone of a lot of the main offices in several of the buildings in her time here. I'm not too sure about her early career with Highland, but I know her latter years here have been spent in main offices in both the middle school and the elementary school. And her support for those administrators that have been around her and the support of the staff that she's worked with is very much appreciated. And I know even the students of our district that had interaction with Lauren very much appreciates the time that she's given to the district. So again, congratulations in retirement to Lauren Ferrari for 30 years of service to the Highland Central School District.
I'd certainly also like to thank and congratulate all of our retirees for everything they've done on a daily basis, on every day for our kids. And just how much you care for our students, it's incredible. Now, I know this was because of the date change, there was a lot of conflicts for some of our retirees, unfortunately. So I know that Deb is here, Monahan. Is there any other retirees that we can make it tonight? I don't think so. So Deb, You can come up to the podium. You gotta get a picture.
Yes, just to add, some of the retirees are not here this evening. It's unfortunate the move of our meeting, and they're planning for a retirement reception for some of those retirees is happening right now, so unfortunately they're not able to attend, but we are recognizing them.
So later on the agenda, we have some MOAs to vote on. And when we sat down for the HSA negotiations, I knew Deb had retired in January, and then I walked in the room, the whole boy, Deb Monahan's here. Okay, I'm in trouble. It was, though I only had the pleasure of working with you for since October. Just your love of the students and certainly your participation and work with your union has been outstanding. So thank you very much for everything you've done for us.
Our next recognition is to a board member, Deb Pagano. There's a lot I can say about Deb. She came on board as a board member 6 years ago. Prior to that, we were in a situation where we were coming out of that economic downturn that hit the country. And it affected our district tremendously. We were approached by many community members, taxpayers that came forward and were saying that this district is not going to survive the way we are functioning. Deb came on board 6 years ago with her knowledge of our business office and her knowledge of the running of the school district, helped us tremendously. And I appreciate all the work that Deb has done serving on the Board of Education, serving on the committees that she's been appointed to, some of them that she did not want to be on, but some of them she asked to be on. So we appreciate all that time that she spent with those committees and all the meetings that we attended together. We went through several negotiations, and with your knowledge and background in school business has helped us tremendously. And I think this district has come a long way in the 6 years that Deb has been on the board. I think we gel as a board, we work well as a board, we communicate with the shareholders, the stakeholders of the community. We interact with our staff, and we appreciate all the hard work that our administrators, our support team, our directors, our teachers, our HSA members, which takes up a large portion of our district. If I name all the different facets of that union, I might forget someone, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but we appreciate every individual that works at this Highland Central School District, and I know Deb does also. So Deb, your 6 years of service to the Highland Central School District will be missed. I think myself, and speaking for the rest of the board, is going to miss your service and your pretty face sitting there at this dais, and all the input that you have. I hope in the very near future you'll have the opportunity to possibly come back and serve on this Board of Education. With that, we miss you tremendously, and I wish you luck in your future.
everybody knows I'm not a public speaker, but I want to say thank you. And my 6 years on the board has helped me grow as a person, and I always have held highly and near and dear to my heart, and I may be that. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So Debbie, certainly in the time I've known you, I know that you care about our students very deeply. You are a champion of our food service and supporter of kids. You want to make sure that there's no student that goes hungry and that we provide a quality meal program. I appreciate that. Now, you said you might be back, not me, so I might hold you to that. We have it on tape. I do have a small token of appreciation, a plaque. An appreciation to Debbie Pagano for 6 years of dedicated service as a member of the Board of Education. Thank you for your commitment to the students and community of the Highland Central School District.
I apologize, there's something that I missed that we normally do. I would like our middle school principal to come up. And to recognize and speak of our tenured candidate.
Ms. Simpson. Tara, it's right here. Okay, great. Okay, so when you think about, you have all the different functions that go on in the building, and the goal is to educate kids. And the more we find ways to connect kids to schools, the more that they feel that we want them to be there, that we care about them, the more they will learn. You can't, in middle school, you can't fake that. Middle school kids will see straight through it if you try to fake that. The other day I was standing at dismissal, and with Tara, she was right next to me, and we finished our math final. The kids were walking out the door, and one by one, when they went by, she called the student by their name and said, "I know you aced that. I know you did that. We worked on that. You had it. You were ready." And those kids smiled. They lit up, knowing that they had a champion in their corner. That's who Tara Simpson is. That's why she has tenure. That's why she's in the middle school.
Bill?
You can speak, you don't have to speak by yourself.
I have a few excerpts from I'd like to read from my tenure recommendation letter that I wrote for Vanessa Sheldon and for Dr. Paff. So for Dr. Paff, Dr. Michael Paff is the high school psychologist, and he works with out-of-district placements for students in grades K-12. For high school students, in addition to regular counseling, he provides consultation to all students in need. He conducts psychological evaluations and re-evaluations. Dr. Paff works closely with families and community service providers to ensure continuity of mental health care. Dr. Paff is one of our DASA coordinators at the high school, and he's responsible for investigating and, if possible, resolving incidences of bullying between students. In addition, he has provided in-service training for district staff on various topics, including mental health and managing challenging behaviors. He is a member of the Ulster County Trauma Response Team. He's a district special education, he's on the special education cabinet. He's a building level PBIS co-coach, and he's on the district level PBIS team, and he's an advisor to our high school's GSA. Needless to say, Dr. Paff is a vital member of our school community, and it's without reservation that I recommend Dr. Michael Paff for tenure. Mrs. Vanessa Sheldon. Mrs. Sheldon is currently our transition counselor and provides guidance to 8th and 9th graders in our district. She splits her time evenly between the high school and the middle school. Mrs. Sheldon meets with students in crisis and often provides mediation with student issues. She creates a 4-year plan with each 9th grade student that helps them plot out their academic endeavors while at the high school. Most importantly, however, Ms. Sheldon helps students transition from being middle school students to understanding the expectations of being a high school student. Vanessa Pratt Sheldon is an invaluable member of our school community. Students and faculty highly respect her, and it is without reservation that I recommend Vanessa Pratt Sheldon for tenure.
Every week, I meet with support staff, guidance counselors, social workers, psychologists, and we talk about kids in need, kids that are struggling. I'm always very interested in the way people are able to move a bureaucracy in the sense of finding ways to help it, make that bureaucracy help kids be successful. Vanessa's become an expert at dealing with governmental agencies and finding the right piece to turn, the right button to push to get the kids the help they need to be successful. It's an indispensable skill that she has. And as Mr. Zimmer said, that transition piece between the middle school and the high school, she builds those relationships with kids in 8th grade. She takes them to the high school, literally, did that this week, takes them to the high school, and then when they're there, they have that person to rely on to support them while they're there. So, Vanessa, congratulations.
I apologize for that, but the board knew all along that Dr. Paff and Vanessa Sheldon were well deserving of tenure, so we kind of bypassed their recommendations to the building administrators.
So if the tenure, people receiving tenure could come up.
Mr. Zimmer, should you be up there as well?
Calling
3 weeks of tenure I had.
At this time, I'd like every one of our recognition candidates to come up in the front, and I think we all should give them a well-deserved round of applause. So all our retirees, our tenure candidates, our top 10, our salutatorian, valedictorian, retirees, board service members, student rep, everybody.
Our high school principal.
Yeah.
I think it's the last time, though, I promise.
We had 3 weeks, right? Exactly.
Great. Thank you. At this time, we're going to take a brief recess. We'll have a little reception with some cake and punch in the back. And then I'm going to ask everyone in the audience to remain here for the rest of our meeting. Because it's kind of dull when there's nobody here listening for us speak. Thank you. All right, we'll open the meeting up to public comment at this point.
Well, I guess since I don't see my name on the agenda, I'm going to take an opportunity now to go. Mr. President, Barone, Superintendent, board members, it's with an honor that I come here tonight to present a certificate of appreciation on behalf of the town of Lloyd. My name is Paul Hansa, I'm the town supervisor. I've had the honor of being town supervisor for the last 7 years. We do a lot of events within the community. Volunteerism, as we all know, is not what it used to be. So getting help to do our events is always a challenge. My assistant, Kate Jonitz, was able to enact the help of some high school students from the Interact Club. It started off, I think, our first event with perhaps 4 or 5 students. Our last event, I think we had somewhere around 15. We could not do the events in our community without the help of the Interact Club, and I wanted to come here this evening on behalf of the town just to thank the Interact Club, the school board. I know that most of the board members, as myself, were on the front line. When things are good, things are good. When things are bad, you know, we have to hear about it. But I want to thank you for your service. Debbie, thank you for your years of service to our community. The jobs that you do are so important, and you don't get the recognition that you should have. So I'm here tonight as a former graduate of Highland High School and the town supervisor to say thank you. So without any further ado, I'd like to present the certificate. The dean would come up perhaps and accept it. It's a certificate of appreciation presented to the Interact Club of the Highland High School for the year 2017-2018 school year for outstanding service and achievement in providing over 800 hours of service to the community of Highland. This 14th day of June 2018, presented by Town of Lloyd Town Board Supervisor Paul Hansen. Thank you so much.
Another picture.
Put that on the Twitter feeds.
Thank you all.
Paul, thank you for taking the time to do that. Much appreciated. Thank you, Paul. Have some more cake.
Anyone else for public comment? Okay, we'll move on. Acceptance of reports. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves and acknowledges the following reports. The Board of Education meeting minutes. Treasurer's report, April 2018, which includes the general fund, school lunch fund, special aid fund, and the capital fund. Our financial extracurricular reports in our attendance and enrollment report, period 9, 5/1/2018 to 5/31/2018. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Mike, second by Ed. Discussion?
I just had a question. I don't know if Tom, you got to see my email. Do we have any statistics on dropouts?
I'm sure we do have statistics on dropouts, yes.
It used to be part of the report.
Okay. We'll get that to the whole board.
Any other questions on the treasurer's report? Okay, have a motion, we have a motion, all those in favor? Opposed? So carried. Our principal's report, Joel?
Good evening. Just an update on the library trips that we've been making and the incentive that we had running through the PTA. We got a report from our local librarian that 400, or even over 400, library cards were issued to elementary students during that time. So most of our kids now have library cards, and we're encouraging them to use them this summer and taking part in the summer reading program. If you've not heard, we had to cancel one field day this week due to rain, so that will be rescheduled for tomorrow at 1 p.m. So probably be the first year that we've gotten them all in 1 week, but there has never been a year that I have not had to cancel one. So I really thought this would be the year, but it wasn't. That's all I have, unless you have any questions. Awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to the moving up ceremony next week.
Yeah, please make sure you'll all have seats reserved, ready to go, but that's 6:30 on Tuesday night. Extra.
Thank you for a great year, Joel.
Thank you.
A couple updates. This year we did the sustained silent reading program at the middle school. The idea was that every day in 7th and 8th grade, in a rotating schedule, students spent 15 minutes reading in a classroom. So one day it would have been math in the math classroom, the next day it would have been in their social studies, and then their science classrooms, on and on, like that. It was so successful. Comments from students, things like, we just enjoyed some quiet time being able to read. It was pretty amazing to hear what they were talking about. So we're working now on getting a summer reading initiative out, contacting all of our parents through our school messenger service, letting them know about the library. We did a drive to as well, although we didn't get 400 cards, library cards, but we did get a whole bunch of kids signed up to get them to the library, to encourage parents to do more reading during the summer. So that is going on, and I just want to comment on the President's Challenge Scholarship through SUNY Ulster. I had the pleasure with Vanessa Sheldon to sit down and tell the 5 students who won the scholarships. You can just imagine how these students reacted. It was dead silence after I told them that they were the ones selected. Then the look of shock on their face, the look of disbelief, and then all of a sudden it set in that they were selected as the 5 students that were now had 2 years of college paid for, with support all the way through high school to get there. It was very incredible. It was a great process, and we're hoping it's just going to continue right through. So, any questions?
Thank you, Dan.
Howdy, y'all. Shout out to Dee. That's right. I don't have any additions to my principal's report, but I would like to comment about the wonderful occasion, the graduate walk that we have every year. This past Monday, June 11th, was the 3rd year that we conducted the graduate walk, in which all the graduating seniors meet at Town Hall in the morning, bagels and juice is provided to us, donated by Bagels and Bites. Kate Johnick sets it up with Town Hall and Mr. Hansen. And also along with the PTSA from the high school helps. We meet, we have breakfast, we walk through the hamlet, we take some pictures before we leave each place. We go to the middle school, we go to the elementary school, and I'd like to thank Mr. Freer, Ms. Sickles, and their faculty and staff and all their students, as well as Mr. Wetzel and Ms. Connors and their faculty and staff and students for providing such a heartwarming, touching event for our seniors to walk through. They get high fives and hugs, and there's laughter and tears, and they have signs and pictures of it. It's just so nice. It's quickly become one of my favorite days of the year, which usually the last day of school is not a principal's favorite day of the year, but it quickly has become that. And they end the event playing on the playground where they played as elementary students. And then we say goodbye to them, and we'll see them again at graduation rehearsal. So I cordially invite anyone who can make it each year, if you can come out and see that. It's a sight to see. That's all I have.
It's a great tradition. I can't even think of how the little kids must feel when they see, the big people walking. It's just, what a great idea.
It makes me think of what they have to look forward to. Like, oh, in a few years I'll be doing that, and I'll be able to walk through this school and see. It's just so nice. And it wouldn't happen without the faculty and staff and administration of the other two schools. So, thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Do anybody have any questions on director's reports? Messed up once, Patrick, tonight. I don't want to do it again. Any questions on director's report? One question?
I did have one question, actually. There was on the technology update, there was a donation of whiteboards. Just wondering who donated them and if that's something that the board should be accepting and certainly passing along our appreciation.
That was donated by the Smart Board Company when they came for our May 18th Superintendent's Conference Day, when we did our big tech review. They donated, it's about the size of like a sandwich board. Pretty cool technology. You can use regular dry erase markers to write on it, and then it will capture and share the notes with everyone that's participating or is there. So yes, that's a good reminder though. We probably need to, we had asked them just to bring some kind of some swag to hand out. Like we were thinking t-shirts and pens and stuff, and they donated that. So we definitely will work on that.
Okay, thank you.
Just one quick comment. Within Frank Alfonso's realm, we have 7 scholar athlete teams this spring, which is an amazing feat. And it just shows the quality of the students we have in our school that can meet that criteria and still juggle the needs of the sport team. So again, congratulations to the students of our district for achieving that. Thank you.
One question for Mr. Miller. The home and careers, I know we're still waiting on the gas valves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do we have any idea of when that's going to occur?
Yes, sir.
I know at one of our meetings, an update from the construction management firm that a good majority of our punch list items are going to be completed by April. Did that occur, do you know, or we still have, I know on your report you still have a bunch of items that are outstanding at the elementary school. Still have quite a few outstanding punch list items.
There are some outstanding items at the elementary school and some other items that have come up with operational issues with things like the library air conditioning control, the air handler in the kitchen, other things that have popped up that keep going back to that home.
Have they been responsive?
Somewhat to the best that they can. In some of the HVAC issues, there's multiple vendors involved, so it's the coordination of getting them to work out whose responsibility the issue is.
You know, the problem with some of the, you know, I don't know if any punch list ever gets to 100%. Eventually, you just stop wasting the time and the energy to get the vendor back because it's a low-cost item and you just got to take ownership of the system and move forward from there. I don't know if that's where we're at, but maybe for the July meeting, we can get an idea if anything's outstanding at that time, what it looks like, and what the time frame is. We'll have to set an expectation of these contractors.
That's a district decision at that point also.
Absolutely.
We have tried to avoid taking it on. We've taken on many things in this project on ourselves to correct or rectify or whatever we have to do. I think that there's been a lot more than there should be, so we can try to avoid that.
Isn't there allowances in the contract for this kind of work, though? So we have the money. Bring somebody else in.
We're hitting our limit on most of this.
Emily and I had a discussion about that. We may be in a situation where some of that stuff we may own.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can prepare some kind of report for July. We might have to expedite some work.
We'll convene the support service and try to review where we are.
Well, it's affecting instructional spaces. We've been talking about the home ec for a while. We've been talking about the killing at the middle school for a while. This affects program. Got to wrap it up.
I agree.
Okay, anybody else, any comments on our director's reports? Okay, Patrick, you're up.
I just wanted to acknowledge the staff at the high school this week and next week with providing accommodations for our students during Regents and easing the students in the morning as they come in to prepare for these exams. We have teachers staying after school hours to provide the extended time accommodation for those students. The other thing I wanted to acknowledge is the hard work and achievement of our students that are attending out-of-district programs. I attended a Duchess Bosse's and Ulster Bosse's graduation ceremony on Friday, and at both ceremonies we had students winning awards and giving speeches. And we have a lot of students that are finishing up their high school careers in other programs as well this summer, so I just wanted to acknowledge them.
Any questions for Patrick?
Could you put a total column on your director's report on the top bar for the number of kids that you have in each grade? Or just put a total of kids that are under your direction?
Sure, so the columns, the first number is in district, and then there's the slash, and then the second number is the out of district for that grade level.
Yeah, but I mean like the total.
Total it up.
Number.
Sure.
Total.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
You got it.
Anything else for Patrick? Thank you, sir.
I think I also just wanted to, I didn't want to pull out Patrick in general, but all of our directors, thank them for their work over the course of the year. It's been a busy one, we know.
Absolutely. Okay, our CSE meetings and our CPSE minutes. Being resolved, the Board of Education hereby accepts the recommendation of the Committee on Special Education according to the minutes of the CSE meetings of March 21st, 22nd, along with the month of April 5th, 6th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 23rd, 30th, also along with the month of May 2nd and 3rd, CSE, the amendment agreement. No meetings May 4th. CFC meeting, no meeting, transfer in, none to report. This committee authorizes the arrangements for such student special education programs and services. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Deb, second by Ed. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. CPSE minutes, be resolved, the Board of Education hereby accepts the recommendation of the Committee on Preschool Special Education according to the minutes of CPSE meetings, none. CPS, no meeting, transfer in, none to report. Amendment agreement, no meeting, none to report. This committee authorizes the arrangements for such student special education programs and services. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Tom, second by Deb. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Under personnel, I know we have a large list of personnel. Would you like to take them as a block and then recognize our appointments? Those individuals are here. And our resignations, if those individuals are here. Would you like to take it as a block?
I'm not opposed. Not opposed.
Everybody okay with the block? Okay, entertain a motion to take appointments in a block from A through H. A through H. Okay,
Motion.
Motion by Mike, second by Heather. Discussion?
I'd like to see if we can, and I understand this extenuating circumstances, but to try to limit the amount of vacation days that are carried over every year.
Yes, so that's something I was not aware of was an issue, so I will make sure we keep track of that moving forward.
Anyone else? A through H. H is the vacation day carryovers, and A is the coaching appointments. Up to page 7. So 9. Okay. Any other questions?
I just have a comment, Mr. President. So under G, just so the public understands, so theoretically, temporarily, I'm being assigned as to be the tax collector and purchasing agent starting June 22nd. So I will be covering my report a little bit. So Emily Curry's last day is next week, and you have to have a tax collector and a purchasing agent. So and we've not hired a new business person yet, so I will assume those roles until the time when we hire another either interim or full-time business official.
Okay, any other comments? All those in favor? Opposed?
I'm an aye to everything except the vacation day item, so if you could put no on that for me.
I'm okay with everything except under the appointments, varsity golf, varsity boys basketball, varsity boys golf, varsity boys basketball, and varsity girls golf.
So just as a point of, Robert's rules. So you can't take it as a block and then vote no on some things and yes on others. So you would have to, if you wanted us to make the public statement that you're against those, that certainly is acceptable. But if you wanted to specifically vote no on anything from A through H, then you have to sever it and then vote on that separately. But certainly if you wanted us to make the personal point that you're saying yes to everything, but you have kind of this commentary, perhaps. I just wanted to clear it up just so we're doing everything correctly.
All right, with that
The vote's there, you could write up the minutes any way you want. We'll approve the minutes in that regard, and then moving forward, we can work with that standard.
Okay.
Motion carried.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, I'm definitely. So I wanted to point out, we do have two of our people appointed this evening. So we have here Karen Brooks, who's appointed as Director of Instructional Data and Assessment. Karen, welcome. And Mike Diago, appointed Social Worker for Elementary Middle School. Welcome, Mike.
Two new hires, welcome aboard. Okay. Student rep. Dave, you're all set for this one?
Howdy, everyone. I first wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all for listening to me this past year and for helping me along the way. It has been a true pleasure getting to know you all and sitting beside you all. I've truly enjoyed being able to update you with different school activities, give my perspective on numerous discussions, and of course, working closely with Mr. Nicolia. Thank you again. Now I'd like to give a few last updates and suggestions. I first want to take a moment to congratulate the boys varsity lacrosse team on winning section champs for the 4th year in a row. I'd also like to congratulate Arthur Worat for winning 2nd place in the pentathlon at the track sectionals and breaking the school record, as well as Tim Petty, Jordan Reynolds, Prince Sai, and Jake Tominosi for coming 2nd in the 4x400 team at sections. I'd like to congratulate the Highland High School Band, who had a great trip to the Music in the Parks Festival and placed 1st in the small school division and placed 1st overall. I'd like to take a moment to discuss the senior graduation walk through the middle school and elementary school. It was fabulous. All seniors had a great time. A big thank you to both schools for the wonderful welcome, and another big thank you to the town's office for providing breakfast. The senior boat cruise was also a success, and I speak from all the seniors in attendance. We truly appreciated the senior class putting the cruise on each year. It's a fantastic way to end the year. I'd also like to wish Christine Paluzzi good luck next year, as she'll be the next year's student representative. The Paluzzi dynasty continues. As sports clubs and schools have finished, I don't have much else to report from the school, but I would like to wish all those students taking a Regents good luck. And I'd like to share a few final thoughts. When I look back at my years at Highland, I think of what I've been able to accomplish and achieve. I think of how lucky I was able to take so many college-level courses in high school. I think of all the clubs I was able to be part of, and what I was able to do, from going to Boston with the Molly Wen Club, to raising thousands for local charities with Intrack Club. But what I think about most are the connections I have been able to make these past 4 years through the school and our community. Highland might be a small district, but we have a lot to offer, and we have a lot of great success. As we continue to better ourselves, I leave with a few suggestions. First, I encourage the district to make sure the technology course at the high school is comprehensive, and of course all students will be able to participate in. I encourage the district to take a deeper look into the clubs offered and ensure unactive clubs with a stipend could be better put to clubs that are extremely active with no stipend. And lastly, I encourage the district to keep listening to our students, as they are what we are all here for. I will truly miss my time at Highland, and I'd like to take a moment to thank all the Highland Central School District faculty and staff. And I mean everyone, from teachers to the wonderful kitchen staff with Maria, to our amazing secretaries from Ms. Ingraham, to Ms. Schmidt, to Denise Santangelo, who are always there helping all of our students, especially me, because I have a lot of things I need to get done. to everyone, to the bus drivers, to anyone that's in our school district. They are vital to all of our student success, and I send a great thank you to you all, and I really appreciate it. Thank you again. It's been a true honor.
Anyone have any questions for Dean? Thank you, Dean. Business and operations, budget transfer. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following budget transfer for the 2017-18 school year as follows. Budget transfer number 10252, $280,730. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Mike, second by Heather. Discussion?
So this is just recoding. It's money for roofing.
It was a transfer. It was incorrectly coded originally to the middle school, and it needed to be to high school.
But it's part of the capital monies.
It is.
We can come back to it.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Part of the capital.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So carried. Donation and budget increase be resolved. The Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, accepts the donation from the High-End Educational Foundation in the amount of $137.48. Be resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation to approve the budget increase of $137.48 as follows. Appropriations from regular ed supplies, total $137.48, and the revenue side is a donation of $137.48. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Ed, second by Tom. Discussion?
And this was a donation, a further donation for one of the grant winners from the Educational Foundations to purchase a few more items for their garden project.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Excess funds be resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, hereby authorizes the funding of the district-approved reserves with the excess of 4% from unassigned fund balance of June 30, 2018. The allocation of such fund balance will be determined subsequent to June 30, 2018, and prior to setting the tax levy. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Deb, second by Mike. Discussion?
So this is just approving that we can put money into that reserve, not necessarily the amount which it says we'll determine at a later date. Okay,
Correct,
thank you.
yes.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Capital project borrowing, bond resolution. Bond resolution as presented to the board at this meeting dated June 14, 2018 of the Board of Education of the Highland Central School District authorizing not to exceed $7,575,000 aggregate principal amount of serial general obligation bonds and the expenditure of $425,000 from the Capital Reserve Fund to finance the construction of improvements to and reconstruction of various district buildings and facilities at an estimated aggregate maximum cost of $8 million. Levy of tax and annual installments and payment thereof, the expenditure of such sum for such purposes and determining other matters in connecting therewith. Lisa, could you do a roll call, please?
Okay, I'll state your name and just say yes or no.
First, let me get
A.
Right. We need a motion to motion by Ed, second by Mike. Okay, now roll call.
It's Ed and Mike.
Ed and Mike.
Okay. All right, now I will go ahead with the roll call. Just state A or nay. Heather Welch?
Yes.
Ed Mizell?
Yes.
Mike Lukaxius?
Yes.
Debbie Pagano?
Yes.
Sue Gilmore?
Yes.
Tom Miller?
Yes.
Alan Barone?
Yes.
That's all in favor, 7-0. Motion carries.
Okay. And that bond resolution is attached and available for public viewing. Finance and consulting services contract be resolved. The Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, approves the financial consulting services agreement in connection with the Highland Central School District's proposed $8 million capital project, existing capital projects, and other financial matters with Bernard P. Donegan, Inc., as presented to the board at this meeting. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Deb, second by Mike, Tom. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Clerk's report be resolved. Results in the May 15, 2018 annual meeting and board election. Be resolved, the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, accepts the below figures of the official results of the May 15, 2018 annual budget and board election. Proposition 1, school district budget, $45,280,769. Yes, 595. No, 301. Proposition 2, capital project proposition. Yes, 583. No, 308. Proposition 3, school bus purchase proposition. Yes, 589. No, 305. Results from the Board of Trustee elections. Camille Adoma, 582 votes. Mike Lukaxius, 603. Ed Mizell, 628. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Tom, second by Heather. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Sarah.
I'll be brief. As everyone knows, we've had a lot of end-of-year activities. We've gone to concerts, we've gone to award ceremonies. So I think I'll just wrap it up and say thank you to all of our staff, teachers, support, everyone for a really great year. Thanks.
As Sarah said, it's a busy time of year, but what a great time of year. It's invigorating and uplifting and exhausting all at the same time. As one of my fellow superintendents said, and pretty much from after Memorial Day, I don't really have to buy breakfast or lunch for the rest of the year because you're always going to something where there's food. Whether it's a recognition like tonight where we had cake, we had the senior breakfast, we had the scholar breakfast, breakfast. So it's just been a great run. The senior boat cruise was fantastic. Again, more food. So that was very nice. And just so proud of all our students, but I want to highlight the seniors. They don't just say this. The ship crew, the captains just comment. They do a lot of schools, and every time our school is at any event, they always comment to us how great our students are as compared to other schools that they host. So that's really a testament to everyone, all faculty and staff, but also parents and guardians for just doing the right thing and raising our children. Next week, also, obviously, a slightly busy week. We have a moving up ceremony on the 5th for the elementary, fifth grade moving up ceremony is next Tuesday, and then the 8th grade moving up ceremony is next Wednesday, and then on a beautiful sunny night, next Thursday night, is graduation. I'd also just like to mention and thank Emily Curry. So next Thursday is going to be Emily's last day. So Emily, you came in to the rescue. Thank you so much for all of your work. And I'm still going to work on you for maybe coming back a little bit. But I wish you the best of luck in your move. Very exciting. I wish you and your family all the best. Thank you so much.
Okay, under Board of Education, new business, our reorg meeting, we're just going to confirm the date of July 2nd at 9 a.m. All right, and that's for everyone that's welcome to the regular board meeting. It's going to be our reorg and our general meeting also.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to make that date.
July 2nd at 9 a.m. Okay, our agreement between Highland Central School District and Orthopedics Associates of Dutchess County, PC. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, based upon recommendation of the superintendent, approve the following contract between Highland Central School District and Orthopedic Associates of Dutchess County, PC, for the purpose of sports medicine coverage, effective August 1st, 2018 through June 30th of 2019.
Have a motion, please.
Motion by Mike, second by Tom. Discussion?
Yeah, I also emailed on this. Have we always done this?
So this is for the trainer that we approved in the budget. Okay, so this is, we're going to be contracting with this company to provide us with a trainer.
Right, and we have done it in the past too, but a part-time position is just for
So this
the
is the training.
fall.
This is.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, any other questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Memorandum of Agreement, Director of Transportation, be resolved, the Board of Education, upon recommendation of Superintendent, approve the attached agreement between Highland Central School District and the Highland Administrators Association in regards to the certified school district administrators mentioned in the collective bargaining agreement. That's it.
Yes.
Can I have a motion, please? Motion made by Sue, second. Ed? Discussion?
So this is just to explain to the board and the public. So our new Director of Transportation is not an administrator, does not have that administrative certificate. So that title is in the contract. So this agreement merely, is a recognition from HA that, that they still kind of have that, they were recognizing, agreeing that they still have that title in their contract, but they are giving us their blessing that it's okay for us to hire someone outside of that contract that is not a part of their union.
Right, okay. Right, all those in favor? Opposed? So carried. Thank you. Board meeting scheduled for 2018-19. Has everyone seen a copy of that? Just a heads up, we're going to end up approving that at our reorg meeting. If anyone has any concerns with it, just let us know.
Did you want me to go through that, Mr. President?
Okay.
Okay. So the idea, believe me, I'll meet as much as you want. And I know how busy we all are, and certainly how busy being a board member is. I know that there are months, and this isn't just Highland, this is all over. There's certainly some months that there's not as much business to cover, and business can be covered in one meeting. There's also some districts, actually some very large districts, that only have one meeting a month. Now, I'm not suggesting that, but there are some very large districts throughout the counties, locally, and the state that conduct all the business in one meeting. So there is in this schedule, there's 6 months where there's one meeting and 6 months where there's 2 meetings. I'll go through it. So July, we have just the one meeting. Now this is, we have some, I know we have some board members who have some personal business to attend to, and it made it difficult when we were setting the reorg meeting. I believe we had discussed that previously, and this was the date we had to come up with, which is Monday the 2nd at 9 a.m. August, there's 2 meetings, the 7th and the 28th. So in the summer, this is merely a suggestion. I just thought it would be silly for everyone to sit around and wait till 7 o'clock at night if we can have meetings slightly earlier in the summer. I know that not everyone can get at a particular time. So we're saying kind of, for example, for the August 7th and 28th, perhaps a between 5 and 6 p.m. start instead of waiting until 7 p.m. to start the meeting. Very often the summer meetings, there's appointments to be done, but there's often not a lot of other business, especially after tonight. We hopefully are settling some 2 big hunks of business, so there'll be less business to discuss. September, back to regular 7 p.m. start. We have moved away, as some schools have. Many schools have their first board meeting this Tuesday. You come back, and that becomes then a very busy and exhausting day for everyone. So I know here at Highland you've moved that a couple years ago. So it's the 11th. So it's not always the 1st and 3rd. It jumps around a little bit. So it's the 11th and the 18th. October, I believe we get back on track. It's the 2nd and the 16th. Now November is always, that's the month that has the shortest number of instruction days, and there's often not as much business to be done. So I'm suggesting just one meeting right in the middle, November 13th. December, we have to still look at the concert dates. But again, one meeting in December. December is a slow month, the 4th or 11th. January, not to have it right when we come back, because there is often not any business to discuss, because you were just off for the December break, and then very often some schools sometimes schedule it that first Tuesday, you come back, you've been back a day, everyone was away, there's really nothing. So again, putting it in the middle of the month, January 15th. February, and again, this is all subject to change. You can also always add meetings. But in February, it's still very early in the budget process. Theoretically, if we pass everything, we'll have a little bit more information also at the beginning of February. So that's one in February, and then back to the 2, March 5th and March 19th. April 2nd, April 24th, and again, that's the BOCES vote. May 7th, the public hearing, May 21st. Next year is the budget vote, and then again, one in June on June 11th.
Okay, we'll adopt a meeting schedule on our rework. If you have any concerns before that, just let us know.
Just a quick comment just on meeting time for the summer. I understand and certainly appreciate wanting to move it earlier. I would just ask for no earlier than 6. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get here any earlier. Thank you.
That's entirely up to the board.
Okay, moving on, meal charging, our first reading here for policy 5630. I don't know if you had an opportunity to read the entire policy, but take a look at it. I don't believe it's been reviewed by council.
It has, it's been reviewed by council, yes. Just to give you a little bit of background of why it's here, the state released new regulations about a month ago, Maria, maybe 6 weeks, that we need to make sure that we have a meal charging policy that does not involve any type of so-called meal shaming. So students are able to get a fully reimbursable meal, a full meal, regardless of their ability to pay for that meal at the time that they're standing at the register, essentially. There was a lot of guidance about what needed to be in the policy. I think we We included our old policy, which was pretty efficient in language. It was pretty tight. The new policy with all of the things that we need to include is much lengthier. But the biggest part of it is that essentially there's no limit to charging. And we need to do everything that we can as a district to ensure that families who qualify apply for free and reduced lunch. There's regulations in here about we need to at least offer them the opportunity 2 times in addition to the packet for the beginning of school. And the full force of it is that we're not to have interaction with students about whether they have the ability to pay or not. All interaction happens with parents on this matter. And really a lot of it we were already doing within our buildings. We already were having our support staff, social workers, psychologists, counseling staff work with parents in many different ways to get any charges paid or to help them apply for free and reduced lunch. As you know, the Highland Rotary has been very generous in donating money to help offset for those parents who don't qualify for free and reduced lunch, but still have a difficult time paying for the meals. The one thing that was added by our council was if there's 3 quarters where a family continues to have a charge, that the lawyers will contact the families to try to recoup that money. But this really is state regulation, and it does need to be in place by the beginning of the school year.
I have a question on the mechanics of this. Am I to understand we're getting away from handling cash rather than the students will be given a card?
And no, I don't. We still do things the same way we've done them before. And many of our students have an account already, and they're just punching in a code when they go to buy lunch. But some of our students pay cash. They don't necessarily have.
That's not going to stop.
That's not going to stop. No.
So like if a student that's on a free and reduced meal, if they wanted to have an a la carte item, they would have to pay cash. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, gotcha.
But if they do have a charge and are there with cash and want to buy an a la carte item, the district has to decide if they want to be allowing the student to buy an a la carte if they owe for lunch charges. That's always, touchy.
Is that covered in the policy?
Needs to be.
I don't think that we have that in the policy. We have that a student can't
Yeah, it says
charge.
prohibited.
Yeah, we're
Charge, they're not allowed to charge a la carte.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, they're not allowed to charge a la carte.
Oh, okay.
If they're
So
gonna
they
pay for
have
all
to
the
have
card
the
cash,
That's
and they have a
different.
charge, we
Yeah,
would
we
decide.
have to decide.
Well, here would be
You
the,
can't charge them.
but here would be the one area that I think might go against the intention of the state direction, is that at that point we would have to tell the student that they can't buy something because they have a charge, and we're not allowed to put the student in the position of not,
That creates
having
an
to.
event in line.
Exactly. So I think that we need to.
I would just recommend that if parents are actually sending money in to pay for the charge, that it's communicated to them to pay directly to food services, so that we don't run into children buying all items and parents saying, well, I gave them the money for the account.
Absolutely, that's something definitely we can take into consideration. And another part of this, which I think is good as well, is there's specific language about training our staff, our food service, as well as our monitors, about the fact that students get lunch. And that's the conversation that needs to happen, not, in the past, not here necessarily, but in the past, there certainly have been situations where a student got a lunch and that lunch got thrown away, or, all kinds of things. So definitely training on how to speak with students about the new policy, and just to let everyone know what the new policy is.
In
cleaning up that document, we'll have to clean up the properties, because when you bring it up online, it says cell phone. So it was probably used as a template. We'll talk about that offline.
Okay, one second, okay.
It's common, this is just, it's an easy choice.
Okay, we'll have an opportunity to look at that, review it, and we'll have our second reading and adopt. Okay, memorandum of agreement, Highland Central School District and HSA. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the attached memorandum of agreement between Highland Central School District and the Highland Support Association dated July 1, 2018 through June 30th, 2023, as presented to the board at this meeting. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Mike, second by Ed. Discussion?
I would just like to thank the HSA, their negotiating team, and their executive board for excellent negotiations. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want the best school district for our students. Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Memorandum of Agreement, Highland Central School District and HTA, be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent, approves the attached memorandum of agreement between Highland Central School District and the Highland Teachers Association dated July 1, 2018 through July 30th, 2023, as presented to the board at this meeting. Have a motion, please? I'm sorry, June 30th, 2023. Motion by Heather, second by Deb. Discussion?
Again, I'd like to thank the HCA negotiating team, executive board for working with the district. And again, we do all want the same thing, and we have now till June 30th of 2023 to work on continuing to make Highland the very best school it can possibly be.
You're forgetting to thank someone, and that is yourself. Your leadership. Your leadership, and you've streamlined the operations. You've made everything collegial, and I gotta hand it to you, Tom. This was phenomenal.
Thank you, Sue. You didn't see the meetings in between the meetings, though. I wasn't so collegial. That's how we got it done.
Don't give away your strategies.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. I'd like to take this opportunity and piggyback what Deb has, Sue has said. In all my years, I've sat through quite a few contract negotiations, and I think this one by far, both with our support staff HSA, our teaching staff HTA, ran smoothly. I even got to say the same thing for our administrators. The process was streamlined thanks to our superintendent, but the interaction between the committee members and the unit members that were on the negotiation teams was back and forth. There was really no animosity between ourselves. Everybody was cordial. Everybody worked to what we were hoping to get at the end result, and I think we accomplished that in a short period of time, and that's got to be something to be proud of from both sides, that we were able to work together, come to common ground, and settle a contract in a short period of time. So again, thank you to everyone involved for that process. Old business, this is something that I dread. But anyway, on our agenda is elementary school playground.
So after one of my in-between meetings with the HSA, when I was walking out black and blue and, you know, beaten up a little bit. Then they dragged me to the playground. And we talked a little bit about, I talked with Deb, certainly led the discussion about the idea of a pavilion, I believe, and this is something that's been talked about. So perhaps I can let either you or if Deb wanted to talk to the board about that, either one.
Deb and Cheryl Richter came to me a while ago, and I'm saying a while ago, it's been many years, with the idea of having some surplus funds in your account that I believe was left over from fundraising and the first playground or the second playground proposal to provide a facility for the students of the elementary school and students of the entire district for that matter to be able to have some outdoor time to read, socialize, have a classroom event activity under a pavilion that would keep them out of the elements, especially in the warmer days of the hot sun. They had a amount of money put aside for that, and I believe that has increased a little bit, or does it still remain?
At the time that I left in January, it was the same.
Okay. Can you tell the board the amount of money?
I believe it's a little over $5,000.
There's $5,000 that they would like to appropriate towards the building of this pavilion. And I think, you know, in working with Mr. Miller, Director of Facilities, I think we can probably decide on an area to erect the pavilion and then find a means to support the financial piece that the elementary school fundraising has been able to establish and get it erected. So I don't know the feeling of the board moving forward with this. I know that we have a capital project and a new one coming on board, and I don't want that to have any type of interference because there is the survey that the design team has to do for a new project that this project here might interfere with that for some reason. That's something that has to do with rules and regulations of HCSD. But anyway, I think in our conversation that it can be accomplished with minimal outside funding, possibly donations, possibly volunteers helping with installation. I know I was involved in the pavilion up here at the high school that was dedicated to 3 soldiers that lost their lives that were members of our school district. We did that with minimal funds and we had a lot of volunteer help there also. That's where we are. No, Deb's not going to back down on this. She promised me that she will get it done even if she retires.
So I have a strong feeling, knowing the resiliency of them, but even more, the heart of the people of Highland, that if the board, not to put too much undue pressure, if the board basically gives this project its blessing, that we'll be able to come up with whatever the funds that are going to be needed to do this.
Everybody okay? Anybody have any concerns?
Volunteer to help in any way possible. I'd like to fill
I would certainly support it. No, from now having a student at the elementary school and having T-ball there all the time, there's people that are there constantly. So not only for use during the day, but for the community.
There's nowhere to get on your cup there.
There's not.
So step one, we get it designed together.
It's going to be similar to the one out here. Typical, pavilion that you see in our community. In our region has one that having fire district.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll get the support from our director of facilities also on this project.
I heard he could build it by himself. That's what I hear.
because it's complete staff. Or incomplete staff right now, and still gotta hire people when they're not
So if we have the board's blessing, so perhaps, you know, maybe after graduation, we're a little busy, then I'll have Carly reach out to them and we can get a small committee of interested people together so we can get the project rolling. Okay?
Okay. Security positions, some discussions.
So I know that there were some questions from Deb, and Deb and I spoke quite a bit about this. So in the budget for next year, we did budget for security positions. And even at the time when we proposed it, there was different, there was money put aside, but we talked about really two different models, and that was either to hire a police officer and or an SRO, or to hire security monitors or personnel like we have now. I was certainly pushing for, and still am, security personnel. But it's not necessarily what I want, you know, it's about a team and what's going to be best for the school. But I did, all the building administrators weighed in on the idea, as well as we met with our security, our district-wide security committee, and then I also individually spoke with our current security personnel, and they all would prefer to get 3 SROs, 1 for each building, but the reality is we can only afford 1. So we have such great police presence from the town of Lloyd Police, that the police are in our schools all the time. If we really want to, you know, continue to improve security, the 3 additional security personnel is what everyone, the people who run the buildings, our own security people, that's what they would prefer. So that, again, depending on, you know, the monies that we want to allocate as we get closer to making this a reality, this would be 3 part-time, perhaps even more than that, but at the moment 3 part-time security personnel, 1 for each building, who would do a later shift so that we can cover our buildings later into the day, until 6 or 7 o'clock, or perhaps even later, depending on the event. So that's just what the people who work here every day want. The cost of a police officer, I met with Chief Wage, and then I spoke with Ulster County Sheriff's Department. It's both about the same. So Chief Wage, it was more really not an SRO, but they would provide a police officer. And that was between $90,000 and $100,000. And then I spoke with the Ulster County Sheriff's Department, and that would be an SRO, but that would be between $90,000 and $100,000. So it's the same price about for either an SRO or a police officer, or I forget the exact amount that we budgeted.
Now, I know when we were going through the budget process, we did talk about some positions, and we did talk that there could be some potential changes. But I believe in that presentation, we pretty much said that there would be 3 additional security guards in each of the buildings, consistent with what we have now. And I've talked to several parents, and they're going to be expecting another body in every one of those buildings. So as much as I appreciate the SRO discussion, and certainly I do support it, but the cost is you know, do you get 3 bodies or 1 body? And if you feel that the police presence in your buildings at this point is adequate, I would be hard pressed to support anything different than what we had, you know, at that time.
And it doesn't mean that an SRO or police officer is something out of the question in the future. But this is, you know.
So everybody understands that when we budgeted dollar amount to supplement the individual that we have now in the building. And that plan, I think, will be generated from the superintendent speaking with the building principal on on how we're going to overlap that service. Either it's going to be two at the same time, or we're going to overlap to cover after-school activities. And don't forget another piece, and this goes out to whoever's listening or will be listening, and those here today. In your conversation, and parents and community members that ask what's going on with security, how we treat security, and they've asked me too, and I tell them the same thing. Number one, we have an additional security package that was built into our 2014 bond issue, and the smart school money that I would think we all approved back in 2014 for $2.1 billion to the state. That hasn't been released, or our plans haven't even been reviewed to put that into action. So here's another year that could go by without having the approval and the funding to implement the balance of our security piece of our project. It's not us, it's Albany, and believe me, every time I see an assemblyman or a senator that's in our area and I have able to come in contact, what are they doing? Why are they dragging their feet? It's a simple review process. The project has been designed by certified registered architects and engineers that have a New York State architect stamp or engineer stamp, and it has to go up there to be reviewed by another, what I call entry-level architects or engineers, to review some of that already designed there. It's just, it's beyond me to comprehend why we go through that process. And you talk to some of these individuals and, it's somewhat of a deaf ear, really. It really is. Because what are we waiting for? That's what I tell them. You're waiting for the next situation to hit New York State before you make the move. And I think that's what the community has to be up in arms against and contact their assemblymen or their senators. Unfortunately, our representative passed away, but there are still others throughout New York State that are in the same situation, and the money is not released or the project plans have not been approved. Enough of that.
I mean, the other piece is we had one of our, and they're all highly valued, one of our security guards resigned this evening in Bill Sutton, and he did a fantastic job there at the middle school, so we're already a man down. We've got some positions to fill, and I know that's a real important discussion for September.
Okay, any other discussion on the security positions? And I'm sure that'll be resurrected again shortly. Anything for the good welfare of the district? Open up to public comment. Okay. Motion.
Public comment.
Oh.
I just wanted to say thank you guys for the opportunity for the coaching position. If you mind, I just wanted to shake everybody's hand and say thank you very much. Appreciate the HCA. Thank you.
Good job.
Any other public comment? Okay, motion to adjourn, to go back into public executive session.
Motion.
Motion by Mike, second by Tom. We will not be coming back out to public. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Great job.